Good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a lovely day. You should be good to go. I need to do a thing. Where we go? Okay, I think I did that. Okay. We're trying to get this all set up on this other thing. So I type in slash register. Am I dumb? I am probably dumb. Yes. Yay! Okay. I have successfully. Hello, Danny. There is not set up, only watch. Yes. I think I am set up now. This is so funny. Mouse was like, "Hey, yo, you could join this thing." And let's see. And you know, it's a we're supporting the streamers, and I'm like, "Oh, hey, supporting the streamers. We like that. We love to see it. Supporting the streamers, always a good thing." And then it's like, make sure that you shout out everybody who supported you in the shout out channel after every stream. I'm just like, are you sure you want me to do that? Like, I can do that. I can do that. Are you sure you want me to? Oh no. Oh. Yeah, maybe we don't talk about weird shit like that. I'm just saying. That's a deep recommendation. We can chat about pleasant things. Yes, you feel much better now? Oh, good for you. Okay, what do I want outside? What do I want outside? Two. We're gonna once again try really hard. I'm not running. I am running. Because you run faster with the running shoes, which makes sense. It makes sense. Please give me the tomb. Didn't get the tomb. I think I'd rather have items. And these are the tool shed almost always has good items in it. And those are both great items. Oh, make sure you drink water. You don't want to wake up with that. If you're already hurting, you don't nah. Water. Water. Drink the water. Something else I wanted to do, like in Brackbridge, but no, because I haven't found anything else. Not me being like second guessing myself because I was doing those day one runs. You have no idea if I'm a woman or a guy. Well, there's titties here if you want to see them, you know. So that should be a helpful indication in theory. I hear a noise. Where's the frickin' heck? There it is. Nice! Ooh. In theory, you can see them hanging out over the chat. Where are we? Where are we? Do I want this? We do like the chapel, even if it does steal our money. I heard a bip. What you bipping about? Keys? Coins? Aha! Key! Love it. Did I have the key card? Oh, I do. Ooh, what did I keep? Ooh, I kept the emerald bracelet. Hell yeah. In your thoughts. Uh-huh. Oh, the dining room. We don't really need it, though. But we do kind of like it. We do. Or I could just do the pantry. Fuck it. Let's get the pantry out of here. Let's get it out of the way. Yeah, I'm from Canada. Canada. Greenhouse. Nice. Tasty gems. I got the watering can. Would have been nicer to get the shovel. I can't have everything, I suppose. You know, I just realized I think all these plants are dead because they're overwatered because I always have full water going on in here. Canada should annex the USA? Well, generally speaking, we don't need to, right? be cool if you guys ceded the union. Like, if individual states don't want to be there no mo, I think there should be some method for, like, saying, you know, we would like to, take our leave, and, when Germany gets Russia. Hell yeah. Still, I do think it should be possible to... This was something I was looking forward to getting into. The electric eel aquarium. Oh my god, look at that. Look, they actually do. They have little zaps. Oh, only one of them becomes electric. Look at them go. Not nearly as loud as it actually is. I've heard people record. Well, it could be a distortion on the mic, I suppose. Ooh, library. Oh, sorry. I say library because I think it's funny. I do know how to say library, but I still think it's funny. Okay. We want to read Curse of Blackbridge. Oh, I do want to look at these names. So he was censored too. He also might be my dad. I haven't quite figured out who my dad is. Slash, I feel like Caleb is actually my dad. He's my dad. Boogie woogie woogie. This is called Blueprints, as in like a blue and then a crown, but it's a pun also because you're using blueprints to make things. Puns are actually an exceptionally large part of this game, oddly enough. Whee! 14 of the upgrade discs, and I'm pretty sure I know where the rest of them are. Here, there's just a couple things I want to check in my records here. Most time spent in the library. That's because you have to read books. So many books. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's got to be an 8th one that goes here. So what haven't I made yet? I know some of them I was like, ooh, maybe I'll make that later. I might not be articulating well. I do mutter to myself. What am I missing? Like, of things that I, like started to draft and then went, no, I'm not doing that. I think I've done all the ones that make sense. Or ones that I saw and was like, I'll do that some other time. With the detector shovel. Which actually isn't half bad. The detector shovel just gives you the function of both in one item. Which is handy. I hate the spinny. It's so smooth. Makes my brain hurt. Okay. Comes and goes. Do I like techno? Do you even listen to techno in Canada? Yes, I love techno. I love techno. I'll be listening to it right now. Except that this game's kind of atmospheric and it's not quite... Like, maybe when I do some more challenge runs where you're, like, racing through the house at top speed, I'll actually listen to some techno next time, because last time it was just... I was getting fried, and I wouldn't be so fried if I had some pleasant music to listen to, and not just, you know, little subtle strings. Synth strings playing in the background. What we got? No. We only got 2 keys, though. I don't waste my secret garden key on this shit. Okay, we ball. and it worked. Okay. The reason why I didn't want to is because this is technically a three-way. Of which I will have 2 spots blocked, but, you know. Maximum copium. We had an apple and not a shovel. Would have preferred the apple. Ah, well then. The alcohol part. I'm on medicine where, I can't even drink a non-alcoholic drink that's considered non-alcoholic because they've removed the vast majority of the... I miss being able to drink. And my liver is shot because of this. The reason why I can't drink is because my liver is shot because of this medicine. And goes. Well, that's done. What do we got? Oh yeah, definitely want to be on this one. Ooh, lockpick kit. Love that. Hi, Mouse. Very expensive vodka, 14 euros a beer, 9 euros. 14 euros? For vodka? That's how I know I'm uncouth, because I'm like, I wouldn't spend that much on vodka. Because vodka is what you just put into other drinks to make to give them the alcohol. YouTube mostly located. Nice. Yes, it's Dembai VT. I should probably just change it to straight up Dembai, but I feel like the naming convention might be important to people. Especially for people who are trying to avoid VTubers, because I know some people find them, like, upsetting. For whatever reason, and that's valid. You can find something upsetting that you find upsetting. You know, I keep coming in here specifically to look at the statues. You know what I should hecking do? Take pictures of them. Was that legible? It makes basically legible. Baron Edwin Sinclair. We taking pictures now. So Arietta here. I feel like is Clara's mom. Major Nicholas Key the Fourth. This guy, I think, is actually a clue for another puzzle. So Baron Thomas Sinclair is my great-grandfather. And Lord William Epson is my other great-grandfather. A liter of vodka for 6 euros? Hell yeah! That's what I'm talking about. Let's grab the nook here. Very nice. Very nice. We've got some stuff here. You get good weed? Yeah. We have lots of head shops here. Close your eyes if you don't want spoilers. I'll let you know. You can open them again. There you go. You are safe to open your eyes. Ooh, conference room. I was gonna be like, ooh, I'm really mad about security being like that, but you know what? That's actually fine. That's actually fine. And I should be able to force a huge amount of, Oh, shit. Hold on. Wait a second, wait a second, wait a second. Enter. I always forget that I can do this. I remember to do it. One song. Remote terminal access. View. Wow. That sucks. At least I'm getting used to where everything hides. Okay. I have a route to the antechamber, so I don't need to worry about potentially drafting things that are annoying. Wow, nothing in here? Like, not even a fruit, not even a gem, not even a key. Nothing. Nothing. And Mundus Minor. I really needed Clovis the key, but you know, we can't always get what we want. Son of a bitch. I need to go to the conference room. Any treats in here for me? No. Not bad. Love to see it. Oh, hey! Kinda useless, but we might be able to craft something with it. Already changed that one. We're starting to get blocked in. I don't have any freaking keys. Oh yeah! Hell yeah, mouse. Where down do I have to go to actually get to a place where I can draft? Oh shit, I could draft. Oh. Draft out of the antechamber. What? Boogie woogie woogie. Wow. Like, I don't have any bedrooms. I have one bedroom. I have the aquarium is technically somehow. Oh, I know how it's a bedroom. The aquarium's a bedroom because one of the aquariums is set up to look like a little bedroom. Showroom. What can we buy here? Moon pendant. You love to see it. Master key. Only we had a little more money. Of course not. I'm not picking up the basement key because I have no way to get rid of it, and I would really rather it not be one of the things that gets preserved, because it's a completely useless item now. I need to go down to Apple. We're running low on steps. Which means I need to keep my eyes peeled for food, because I did draft the secret garden. I have an idea. I have an idea. I have an idea. I have an idea. This is really the way I need to go. Yeah, well, this is the way I need to go. Oh, apple. Launch. Oddly enough, the pantry didn't get any more food. Alright. Think. Did you give me a banana? You did give me a banana. I don't think I really want to think about bananas from a chapel, but you know. The vestibule. Oh, the Great Hall. With its 7 locked doors that aren't actually locked because I unlocked them all. Oh my god, so useful! Coins, was hoping for keys. That's already open. I don't need to open it again. You'll love to see it. We got a key. Very nice. Banana. It's a banana. Launch. You never know. Okay. I have to think logically about what I want. These are good. Well, there's no point in trying to get into her ladyship's nonsense right now because I can't. I need the key for it. I haven't drafted the kitchen yet. And I haven't drafted the dining room yet. Could be a big risk, but... What you bipping about? Coin. Oh, of course it can't be that the patio can't be spun. That yep, that's fine. I don't really need to go through the laboratory anyway. Like why didn't this one spin? I spinned it for a reason. Ooh, we found the gallery. I've been doing so much thinking about this freaking thing. But I did have... I got a clue about them. I got a clue about them. Why are we bipping? A key in here or something? A coin. Stop it. There it is. Okay. So T... What? You know what? I was gonna put thick, but then I fucked it up. Means I got it right. I never put think there before. Oh, because I was always putting thick there before. Think. Think? Maybe it's really meta. What's this one? This one was a P, right? I swear I've put this in here before, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Or so I might be wrong about this. I usually put prints in here, because this looks like the art from the prints. But if they're related... Oh! Are they visual puns? I think they are. Oh, no way. Okay. This one starts with a... These, both of the other two start with R? Yeah, the other two start with R. This was the one that I was thinking of before. I'm surprised I never put think in there. I guess I just always wrote thick. But this one, I was thinking about P on. And then I'm like, well, okay, but it's on red stuff, right? But it isn't just on red stuff, it's on reversed red stuff. So P on reversed red. So what does this one do? It has a thin K. That means okay. You know this one starts with R. You know it has something to do with thinking. I'm thinking of synonyms of think, and reason would fit, but I'm trying to figure out why it would be reason. Other than there's a sort of a sun, it's actually like actual objective, a sun. Okay, it isn't reason. Oh no, it's one too many letters. It's one too many letters for reason, you dumb bitch. Okay. Okay, let's try this one. Because this one's long enough. I keep thinking of words with R. And I keep thinking, remember. What does that have to do with remember? Well, at least we got a re going on here. Watch this be wrong. Oh. Nope. No, it's not remember. Oh. No, remedy wouldn't work. Thesaurus.com. Search a word or phrase. Think. Is that one long enough? Yes, it is. It is. It's a pun about the eyes. It's a pun about the eyes. Oh, please tell me I'm right about this. You might be wondering why I didn't go for the E and or Z, because I don't know which spelling they're going to use, so I may as well put the E in. There we go. Because it has real eyes. It has real eyes. Real eyes. All this actual objective genius, the Veritas. No. It has real eyes. Real eyes. Oh my god. So it doesn't. It isn't about all of the picture. It might just be about one little teeny tiny chunk of the picture. Oh no. I think I know what it is. I think I know what it is. Yes, there is a U. No way. Because of course, if it's a shitty pun. It's a shitty pun. It's a room in which there is an 8. Ruminate. That's so lame. Oh. Oh. Okay. This was, you know what's so funny about that is I was gonna put thick again. The only clue I had for this was that P on. Because I knew P was on it, and I knew that Prince didn't work because it didn't have enough letters for Prince. Ruminate. Fuck you. Gorgeous. You love to see it. Let's eat some food. Now we good. A little worried about getting around here. bet you I can try this, but I have a feeling, because it did say reach room 8 on 8 or something like that, which means it's probably going to be on rank 8 and it can't be drafted anywhere else. I have a feeling. But we're going to have to get super lucky and get a bunch of straight rooms all the way up there. Can't say no to some coins. Very nice. You love to see it. Oh, that's right. I did draft the Swimbird plushie. It's so big. Please be locked. Yes! Oh, that's creepy! Oh no, I don't like that. No. No, I don't like that. I don't like that one. No. Oh. Oh, that's creepy. Oh, that's really upsetting. Hey. Puzzle. You won't find my bin in between sin, where I deserve to be in a bin on the end. If we spend a min or 10 lounging in the den, you'll know which bin I'm often in. The bin I tend to wind up in is near the bend in the tail of the skin. I share a trend with my neighbor as sin. A letter and its twin appear on each bin. To my chagrin, my neighbor's sin is written thin to fit it all in. First begin, place me within a bin with an N in it within its sin. Well, there's 2 of them. 3 of them, technically. A shared trend with my neighbor's sin, a letter and its twin appear on each. Then and I'll put them. Oh, are you fucking kidding me? The frick did the other critter go? Oh, it pops back over here. Well, the monkey has to be in hubris. The dog has to be in mundanity. And this one has to be avarice, so... I share a trend with my neighbor Sin, a letter and its twin. A letter and its twin appear on each bin. Oh, hot diggity damn! Hell yes! Hell yes! I realized that the elephant could also be talking about gluttony, because gluttony is also distorted. This is an uncomfortable fucking piece of shit. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Oh, we solved the mystery of room 8. I haven't done all of those yet. Well, I found all the blue rooms. I have found them all. Hooray! See, look how small these are! The one that got delivered to the bedroom is so freaking big! It's so big! If I could turn back time. Doo -doo -doo. Well, I guess we can do a drafting studio, huh? What do we got? feel like all these are really important. Like, I wonder whose room that is, the dormitory. I also kind of want to do the casino because I think that'd be fun. Well, for those who care about spoilers, feel free to not look. I'll let you know. You can look. Close your eyes. You are good to go. At least we got our way into the foundation. Act like we never going. They really want me to waste my damn dice, don't they? We're dining room. Way. Dining. everything here is black and white except for those books. Act like we never you wasted in the bathroom of your parents' house. You deny them. You're in love with the idea of me. Okay, the picture in your reality goes. Right, the morning room can't rotate. I could rotate the patty or the. I don't really need the gems. Like the gems are kind of completely worthless. Feel like you're ready to sleep? Okay, cheers. Mm-hmm. Oh, 3 steps. Yeah. I want to know. I want to know. I want to know. And it's free today. Ooh, money. Good to know that you'll get money if you come in here. Definitely worth it. Or. Ooh. all slot machines? Ugh, I didn't need gems. What's the difference between this one and this one? One just has more bonus spins? Oh well. Thought they were like, I mean, games of chance. All right, okay, cool, but not actually games of chance. Like, not. They said that there's some strategy to it. What strategy? Because it didn't seem like there is one. It's just slot machines. You play to lose your money. Maybe if you have the lucky rabbit's foot, it would be different. Always a possible. Didn't even realize I didn't have the damn break room. Holy crap. Imagine setting something to commonplace and then finding out that commonplace isn't so damn common. 3 times 1 is 3 times 6 is 18. -5 times 2 is 10. Is -10. Plus 14 is 4. Minus 5 squared. 5 squared, 25. Minus 10 is 50. I have an idea, but it might be completely. It might not pan out. It might not pan out. Now, do I need to do anything? Do I actually need to go downstairs for any reason? that I can think of. I don't think there's anything down there that's particularly important right now. I do have the moon pendant. I may keep some of these things. Do I need to go downstairs? Do I need to actually, like, go into room 46? I feel like I don't. I'm really overthinking this, but I'm just like, there's gotta be something I'm missing here. Alright, alright. But everything that I want to do requires me to, like, either get the library again, or get the boiler room, and the aquarium, and, like, every other mechanical room, and then get the mechanarium, because I know that's probably gotta be a thing, because probably get the Chamber of Mirrors, too. It's a garden shopping center, apparently. 8 green rooms, 5 shop rooms. Nice. I need to draft the armory if I'm going to do the trading post thing, and I need to get a trading post. I also need to get the tomb at some point. At 68. That's really close to 69. I don't know if I'll actually get able to get 69 from my allowance, but let's do it anyways. Okay, give me the trading post. I swear to God, give me the trading post. What I get to keep? Oh, I got to keep the emerald bracelet and the ornate Hell yes. Hell yes. Love the moon pendant. Moon pendant being an absolute chad today. Hell yes. We got that trading post. This is what I need. That right there. So no trade. No trade, fuck you. Interesting. You get those. Apparently you can get an upgrade disc too, theoretically, but yeah. I'm not doing that for a freaking allowance token. I can get those really easily if I really want to. So we need to draft the armory. How do they make the... I've had the freezer pop up a whole bunch of times. You think that there's some sort of, like, plot point I'm missing there. You're in love with the idea of me. Dun, 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 your reality blows. I have a feeling the armory is unused. I'm thinking of taking the solarium just to get the armory. I think it's rare. Oh wait, I could just look it up, couldn't I? I'm a dumbass. I'm a dumbass. I'm a dumbass. I'm a dumbass. Uh, oh, it's standard. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Well. Okay, if you're gonna give me the aquarium right away, hell yeah. Go. Do this thing. Oh, makes electricity. I mean, I knew it did, but my brain just didn't actually register any of that. True. That was fun. Yes. Time to get a morning star. Very nice. Makes things be on fire. I just realized I should be trying to like maybe get the aquarium off of walk into stuff, why don't you? The aquarium somehow off of the foundation? Maybe that would work. Apparently the camera's just like, we're just gonna move you. Because otherwise I know you just stand there and theoretically you shouldn't do that. Look at this! Boy! Oh my god, look at all the money! So this is the room that I was looking for. Christoph, here's the last of your share, 40 gold from the moonshine shipment we made last week. This may be the last batch for quite some time, as I feel it is no longer worth the risk, especially given Anne's continually increasing suspicion. But I do need to ask another small favor of you. Next week, when you take the Baron to town, if you fabricate some excuse to delay your return by an hour or two, I would be much beholden to you. Annie. This might be referring to the practice sessions. That explains why there's booze in the back of the... Here's what they'll offer me for these things. Everything's always a downgrade as far as I can tell. One thing you can do is if you can get the basement key, you can sometimes trade it for good shit. Sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes you can trade it for good. Music's telling me something, man. It's telling me something. I'm not sure what it's telling me, but I'm getting a vibe from it that I should be paying closer attention to what I draft off of the aquarium. And you're protecting yourself from the effects of one of the best rooms to be affected by. Nana. Pink Pony Club, I wanna keep on dancing. Pink Pony Club, I wanna keep on dancing. Phone screen is now green tinted? You dropped it? Oh, that's not cool. That's not cool, that's no fun. That's not cool, that's no fun. We got a salt shaker. Not bad. Not bad. Could be better, but not bad. Aww. You have exactly 2 green I don't. But I can get food or keys here pretty often, so let's... Man, a couple of not too long ago, not the latest phone I got, but an older phone that I had. Hello, little hammy. You know, bras are usually pretty much useless for anything, but I do like carrying my phone around in it. You're like, oh my god, you're gonna get all of the cancer. Probably. But that's beside the point. It's convenient! Except for this one time where I was like leaning over to like grab something off the ground and it started to fall out of my shirt. And then, because it was falling, I went to reach for it, and yet just gross motor control failed me completely. And where it might have just fallen, because I was reaching for it, I managed to smack it at the ground as hard as I could and absolutely fucking wrecked it. Fucking, that phone died? It died. Anyways. Okay. Stupid angels. Tab. I was like, oh no, don't fall! Smack! Gone. Yeah, I don't think it's... I'd want to have the broken lever anyway, but... Yay, Daimondus! Daimondus! It's... Can we have security, please? No. Dang it. Okay, I have a theory. It might be a dumb theory. I was hoping that would be the book. On. My idea was so sound. It was so good. No. Careful not to click on any books. I don't actually click on. Well, that sucks. Of course. No keys, no hope. The constellations change if you draft this more than once in a day. No, not a Draxus. I have actually thwarted the Draxus before. But I am actually looking for her ladyship's balls. Draxus is the goddess of death, and she wants to eat my face? We're gonna eat some salty bananas. That sounds inappropriate as shit, but we're gonna do it anyway. Am I taking pictures of everything? Yes. The Legend of Black Bridge is one that's well known to the people of the Grand Realm. Versions of this tale have been passed down from generation to generation, with each new telling the story has changed, becoming over the years more colorful, more verbose than one might expect, increasingly horrifying. Or with so many renditions and unique personal touches, the lack of confining and binding the tale to text seemed an ambitious, impossible challenge. Over the course of my research, I've heard dozens of variations of the legend, and while the details would often change, I was surprised by how much of the story's heart remained the same. Yet the more I listened, the clearer it became that there could never be a definitive version of this late tale, capable of capturing all the wonder and myth of Blackbridge. In the end, I chose to write down what I felt the most authentic, the story my grandmother told me as a boy long ago. Part 1, The Berry Picker from Oris. Many years ago, before peace had become a familiar word, there lived a group of rogues so wayward that the locals deemed it inappropriate to call their number the Unholy Hounds. Hound you! Oh, I see. I see. Okay, okay, okay. Sorry, we were looking for a hound you. We weren't sure what that had to do with the fucking anything, but a hound you. Gotcha. They were feral outlaws composed of society's worst at a time when society was at its worst, and for each crime that fearful travelers credited to the group, a dozen more lay unclaimed, each worse than the last. For the gentry, however, who often value their coffers more than their companions, no crime could measure more wicked than the group's primary enterprise, high-road robbery. One such member of this so-called band of rogues was a boy of 13 years, Jesper, who had not been lucky in life, having lost 2 brothers to war and parents to famine. In the years of hunger that followed, Jesper lived in a gutter behind a churchyard, relying on nourishment of scurrying bugs and weeds harvested from the cracks of the alleyway to sustain his pitiful existence. It is not surprising that a child aiming to escape such hardships would take any easy road out, an easy and well-traveled road paved with temptations leading out of the city and into the gentry lands where loose purse strings entwine with the strands of salvation and glisten equally with the hope of opportunity. It was that road that eventually led Jesper to the end of his youth, a hidden cave at the bottom of Blackbridge Canyon. Here he met his surrogate family and saviors, a notorious gang of godless outlaws known as the Unholy Hounds. Despite the hardened circumstances that had led him to his vocation of banditry, Jesper was surprisingly tender-hearted and was often teased by the group for being too kind for such an ignoble life. For this reason, Jesper was assigned the innocent role of berry picker. Right, just making sure I'm actually taking pictures of everything. It was not just innocence that set berry picking apart from the gang's more wicked undertakings, for it was the only duty performed without the safety of night's concealment. Jesper, no stranger to solitude, did not protest that he alone worked, while the others slept soundly, tucked away in a cave at the bottom of Blackbridge Canyon. On one such occasion, Jesper decided to get an early start. He left the cave, berry basket in hand, and set it into the woods where the morning sun had even brushed the tallest treetops. It was colder in the mornings, but the headway dawn meant Jesper could reach the furthermost berry patches without being chastised for tarrying upon his return. It took over 3 hours on foot to reach his destination, and along the way, Jesper had passed many a familiar bush, all priorly pillaged and so bereft of berries that one would have to dedicate several moments to the earnest examination before finding a single one. Jesper was patient, but even patience had its limits. He was confident that, even accounting for the time lost to this long search of travel, His efforts would be well worth the pains. Surveying the patches in this new grove surprised even Jesper. Oh no, the red dots suspended among the leaves were soon as numerous as stars in the skies. Upon seeing such a bounteous sight, he clutched his berry basket tightly and nearly toppled over out of joy. Once he had regained his senses, he didn't realize he was about to be picking holly berries, which are incredibly poisonous. Jesper quickly made a decision. He would not reveal the location of this newfound treasure. Instead, he would earn the respect of his confederates, who, upon seeing his yield, might attribute the success to hard work, if they survive. Smiling at his plan, Jesper set off to fill his basket, and making steady strides in this task when the sound of thundering hooves interrupted him. I'm not showing them his holly leaves, but I have a funny feeling he's about to feed all his friends poison. Whoops. Taking pictures. A carriage is approaching. The thought of it made Jesper freeze. Had he been so enchanted by his discovery that he had been neglected to observe his surroundings? How could a roadbee be so close? He ducked down and crept toward the impending sound, behind one of the larger bushes nearby. It was only a moment before the sound's source revealed itself. Within 50 paces of where Jesper hid, an elegant carriage with gold trim came soaring around a corner of trees, led by two beautiful white horses and conveyed by a stern-looking driver seated atop the vehicle, flaunting the most sophisticated regalia Jesper had ever seen. It was not just any carriage, it was a royal carriage. But even without ever having witnessed such a sight before, Jesper was certain. The sight had so transfixed Jesper that he stood awestruck, unable to tear away as the carriage approached. The little concealment of the bush proved soon unequal to the driver's lofty perch, but upon spotting the boy, he pulled the reins with such effect, the noble steed slid to a sudden halt, with precise control. You, boy, get from behind that bush, he shouted with rigidity that betrayed a modest amount of fear. You startled me half to death, coming round the bend of my own drive and me seeing such an unfamiliar face in a place where there ought not to be any face. Jesper quickly contemplated running. The man was much older, his dress was suitable for courtly behavior, not dashing through bramble and mud. I was picking berries. Jesper raised the half-filled basket to allow the driver to see proof of his words. The demeanor of the man suddenly changed. It was a change that Jesper was familiar with. He'd seen many times the same stern expression on the most fiendish bandits melt away when presented with a berry basket. Any suspicions that the driver may have had instantly evaporated, for even a notion of the member of the unholy hounds picking berries seemed farcical. The softened expression even made allowances for a smile. Berries, eh? Say, you couldn't have picked a better spot for them, could you? I used to pick berries here as a boy. Jesper took his cue to finally step forward out of the bush, proudly brandishing his basket. I know, and what luck I found them. I've only just begun picking, and look how many I have. It would have taken me fourfold the time back home to procure this number. The driver bent down for a closer look. Where's your home, boy? It must be quite far. Jesper replied with a scripted response, a little south of Tanner Fork, just past the burnt woods. My God, that is far. You couldn't have come that way only this morning. It was true. Tanner Fork was in the exact opposite direction that Tanner had traveled, and while that response would seem perfectly reasonable to a location closer to Blackbridge Canyon, you could see why it might seem less believable here. Sir, I have traveled much farther for much less profit. I dare say there's no distance yet made by man that would not be worth undertaking for a prize such as these. Surely you've tasted them for yourself. Jesper felt happier with this response, as it seemed to amplify the man's smile. In my youth, often, but perhaps I took it for granted that I never had to travel very far, and even then my father would always drive us here in our carriage, so I'm ashamed I've never had to walk such a stretch to earn in such an equal reward. It was Jesper's time to smile. Then let my efforts reward us both today. He raised the basket even higher. A taste of memory of your youth, sir. Maybe they aren't holly berries, but I have a feeling they're holly berries. The driver chuckled and removed one glove, bending over the seat to reach down into the basket. The moment his fingers touched the first berry, the dagger in turn met his throat and cutting through a superficial layer of skin and drawing blood. Jesper caught the man's startled eyes, and for that taste, I will have your purse, sir, a memory of my youth. The driver's arm had gone stiff, his chin raised and trembling, more frightened than he had ever been before. Whether unable or incapable of speaking, he did not respond to the boy. Perhaps he did not think his jaw could afford to be engaged at this particular time. Jesper let the basket drop, freeing his other hand to probe the man's pockets. Do not mistake me, sir. I will not kill you if you give me no cause, though I will admit the thought of taking your carriage and leaving the indignity of walking appeals to me. Unable to find a purse in the man's coat, Jesper pivoted to search the seat under him. Why have you no purse upon your person? The driver slowly raised his hand cautiously, pointing to the carriage door behind him. Jesper lowered the knife's edge a small degree to allow the man to speak, which he did in turn softly. There's a lockbox in the carriage. Well, come down then, and grant me the courtesy of sparing your life and binding your hands, a concession, I will assure you, of my tender heart. It would be much easier to just slit your throat. The man started to comply, slowly lowering himself from the driver's seat of the carriage. Once down, Jesper guided him away from the carriage to a nearby tree, where he instructed him to get on his knees and put his hands behind his back. Excusing his inexperience, the man indulged Jesper while he figured out how to adequately bind him. The smile and kindness Jesper had seen on the man's face, now nothing more than a distant memory, in their place cold, dark eyes displaying no emotion. I wonder, did I grant you the same clemency you're showing me? Jesper stopped, surprised by the question, but ignored it, secured the final bindings, and then hastily returned to his carriage. With one hand on the door's handle, he turned to the man. If there's no lockbox, there will be no clemency. Inside the carriage was surprisingly dusty and unswept, a stark contrast to the elegant and polished golden facade of the exterior. It had apparently been many years since a passenger had enjoyed passage in this vehicle. This all but confirmed what Jesper had suspected, that the driver of the carriage was not subservient to the employ of some greater master. Any curiosity that this observation might have further produced was quickly abandoned upon seeing what was under the carriage's back seat, a large wooden lockbox. Despite its hefty appearance, the lockbox was surprisingly easy to handle. Within a few minutes, Jesper had dislodged it from its hold and carried it out into the sunlight. Inspecting the box carefully, two observations were made. Totemic symbols were found carved on all four sides of the box that hinted that the box was very old and likely not created by Arindian hands. It reminded him of artifacts of the old world. It was presumably crafted in one of the ancient realms. Secondly, the box was secured by a rusted yet robust padlock. It would not open easily without a key. Jesper looked over to see the driver quietly observing from his indentured position. You perhaps have a key you could provide me to open this box? Without emotion, the driver replied, there is no key to that box. Jesper stood up. Easy enough, then. He headed over to a nearby rock of sizable dimensions and lifted the stone up, carrying it back to the box. If there ever was a time that lock had been resistant to brute force, it wasn't recent. With one hit, the stone had completely shattered the rusted lock. He bent back down and opened the lid. Inside was an effigy, a crude figure chiseled from stone. Without too much deliberation, Jesper bent down and picked it up, somewhat surprised at how heavy it seemed, given how light the box had felt. Having expected to find more akin to gold or gems, he looked questioningly to the man, hoping to find an explanation. The driver's smile had once again returned. You are cursed, boy, for deadly is the stone. You have opened that which should never have been opened, and you are cursed. Helpful. It's not very helpful. Jesper carried the effigy over to the man and shoved it in front of his face. What is it? That's one. Feeling his disappointment rising to anger now, Jesper tightened his grip on the effigy. On what, you mumbling Agentor? And in God's name, why have you no purse upon your person? Oh! 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 Fucking cursed! Fucking cursed! Okay, sorry, I need to write down Agentor. In God's name, why have you no purse upon your person? One pace! He paused for effect. 12 more, and you will be dead. $13 steps, huh? He only had a second to flinch before the effigy struck him in the head and put an end to his cryptic ramblings. If ever there was ever a time when the old man had been resistant to brute force, it wasn't recent. Jesper looked down at the sculpted stone figure, now splattered red. Was it cursed? Was he cursed? He had, of course, heard stories of curses and had never doubted their validity in the past, but now he was standing face to face with the possibility of being cursed, and his mind pleaded with him, skeptical. And if he was cursed, what difference would the knowledge make? A dozen more paces would not be enough to find another living soul, to say nothing of the chances of procuring a remedy. If he did not move from where he now stood, he could maybe live another 3 or 4 days, maybe more given the abundance of nearby berries, a plan that, if we ignore its obvious faults, might provide additional opportunities for help to come along. But what good would that do? To be discovered here, beside a body, stolen goods in hand, bloated for berries, and raving about a curse, that could very well not be real. No, it would be most certainly better to face one's fate now, take a dozen paces, and see if life goes on. Right, just making sure that I'm not missing any pages, because this saves me the time of coming back and doing stuff. I mean, in theory, you could ride around to the cart. Is it you taking paces? It's the horses taking paces. Jesper found his legs unable to make that first step. His mind was unable to convince his limb to waste away 1/12 of his life in a single motion, feeling the desperation sink in. He hopelessly looked about him for a solution, and if, by some stroke of the gods, had heard his plea, a miracle materialized before him, as if he found himself suddenly at the end of a fairy tale. 2 white horses and a carriage of golden trim were beside him, and the answer to his immediate prayers. He laughed at his fortune and calculated the short number of paces back to the road. 4, perhaps only 3 if he jumped. He made a quick survey to see if there was anything he wished to grab before taking the plunge. He thought about removing the driver's fancy coat, as that appeared to be of some value, but the additional task of undertaking a task was too great a chance. And so, after a profound breath, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th steps, though they were quite large, seated now behind the horses, he reached for the reins and suddenly realized he was still gripping the effigy. If the curse was real, then it would most be better left here. On the other hand, if the story is fictitious, there might be some appraisal that could be made of the figure. It was, after all, found within a lockbox, whose typical function obscures objects of value. Having witnessed firsthand the horrors of destitution, Jesper found his mind equally reluctantly to allow his hand to let go. If it is cursed, I die. If not today, then tomorrow. And if I die, what care have I? And with that statement said aloud to the horses, seemingly, Jasper took up the reins with confidence. Part 2, Below the Black Bridge. Miller awoke to some light nudging from a familiar foot. Only one person would have the cheek to awaken her in such ill-mannered fashion. Shaking the sleep from her eyes, she glared up at him in the darkness. But did not say a word. He nudged her again, teasingly, then slipped back into the dim. After taking a moment for her eyes to adjust to the darkness of the cave, Miller remembered she was on third watch today. Quietly collecting her things and wits, Miller turned as she left, waving to her young friend, who was more than likely already asleep. She crept through the cavern's main passage, careful not to wake the sleeping bandits around her. Like a hero in a book, she often mused. Quietly, she grabbed a bow from the haphazardly formed pile of weapons, shaking the accompanying quiver in the darkness to assess how many arrows it held. She then walked to the sun-drenched mouth of the cavern, ready to start her shift. Above her, in one of the few trees found in the canyon, Miller could see that Ravia was already posted. She waved, and Ravia waved back. Calling out to each other was strictly forbidden. Anything louder than a gesture in the canyon was forbidden. When Miller reached the tree, Ravia lowered a braided rope, ported to the ground behind her. Miller turned, following the finger, and saw a pail of water resting beside a nearby log. He turned back to Ravia and secured the pail to the rope. The pail went up first, and in turn Miller followed. Ravia reached across to grab the water. Miller leaned back to give her space. There was not much room for maneuvering in this tree post, a necessary concession for the concealment the outpost demanded. Ravia tilted the pail up to her mouth dramatically, illustrating how thirsty she had been. Miller laughed silently as the water poured out, splashing onto Ravia's face. It was a bit too daring and noisy of a joke, and had the others been around, they would have certainly been scolded. The unwarranted sound. But Miller appreciated the efforts Ravia took to verbalize the silence of the morning. Book is really long. They had been on third watch together for over a month, and during that speechless time their friendship had grown into something special. Affection was unsurprisingly scarce amongst the unholy hounds. She had felt camaraderie before, but of course intimacy never. From their elevated vantage, the girls could see both the concealed entrance of the cavern, as well as a clear view of the bridge that spanned across the cavern. Black Bridge was the link between the Gentrylands and the northern mountains, the overpass that connected Oris and Reddington. To the city-faring travelers of the realm, the bridge was an unavoidable crossing. In the day, the task was to ensure that travelers passed by without stopping. At night, the task was to ensure that they do. Like most of her band, Miller preferred the night. The biting glare of the sun might be tolerable to farmhands and bricklayers, but to a cavern-housed bandit it is a source of constant annoyance. In the day, there's no shroud to conceal her expressions or to hide her thoughts. She felt exposed. The story is so long. Ravia touched her elbow and pointed up. Miller, striving to suppress a budding smile, suddenly shook her head in response. There were many signs that the unholy hounds used in lieu of words, but the two of them had developed an extended vocabulary. Gestures quietly forged in shared solitude in their month among the branches. She watched as Ravia shifted, placing her palms flat on the floorboards beneath them. Miller knew what she was trying to say, but shook her head a second time. It was more fun to pretend to not understand, and Ravia rolled her eyes and turned away, looking back into the canyon. Squinting through the leaves, the two girls held still, watching and listening. Not long until Miller, too, heard the sounds of approach. Ravia held up two bent fingers, and a few moments later, two men emerged from the bridge's southern end. They were dressed in a familiar uniform, long gray coats with black facings, white waistcoats, and black tricorn hats. They belonged to the local patrol, the Black Guard. Although not an everyday occurrence, their presence at the Black Bridge was an unusual sight. It was typically indicated that an important traveler's impending passage across the bridge. Information the girls were promptly relayed to the leaders as soon as the coast was clear. This report, while exciting, was rarely acted upon. In Miller's 5 years in the Unholy Hounds, she had never once seen a carriage taken in open daylight. 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 Once seen a carriage taken in o when the blackguard was nearby. The men had nearly reached the bridge's north end when Miller heard the horses, faintly at first, but growing louder with each passing moment. Ravia's eyes met Miller's, the same concern mirrored in each other's expression. This did not sound like a typical carriage, cautiously approaching the bridge to cross. Instead of the familiar crunch of the highroad's gravel, they heard the harsh clattering hoofbeats against stone. Both girls quickly redirected their attention downwards, looking through the foliage, because the sounds were not coming from the high road, but from the canyon itself. The horses were coming from below the bridge. In an instant, Miller had knocked an arrow and drawn her bow. Go! Ravi was gone before the whisper had even left Miller's mouth. The young scout was already sliding down to the bank below, racing around toward the cave. There was no road that ran below the canyon. There was no reason for numerous horses to be approaching their cave. There was only one reasonable conclusion, and both girls had reached it instantly. The base had been compromised, and this was a blackguard attack. The moment the horses came into view, Miller let loose her first arrow. She was surprised to see a carriage. She expected cavalry. But before she finished processing the thought, her second arrow was in the air. Without a trail, it would be unthinkable for a carriage to traverse such rough terrain. As she watched as the wheels jolted over the rocky riverbed, the third arrow was now in flight, and there would be no need for a fourth. The driver slumped over just moments before the vehicle tipped into a small ditch, slamming into an embankment. The force of this sudden halt immediately shattered the two front wheels and catapulted the driver from his seat. Utterly confused now, Miller quickly glanced over his shoulder to see if any horses were also approaching from the rear. But in the canyon, the entire horde of the unholy hounds came spilling forth from the earth, as if hell itself had suddenly sprung open. The group seemed even more bewildered than Miller, half asleep and tripping over one another in a desperate attempt to engage an unseen enemy in combat. Miller could see Ravia among their number, the only one looking up at her. Her expression was chilling. There'd be no need for a silent gesture to convey what they now both realized. They'd made a mistake. The gang's chieftain, Jeffrey Heartslasher, led the others, cautiously approaching the crashed carriage like a suspicious fox would near a baited trap. There were no words exchanged as the group crept forward in customary silence. A dozen or so paces in front of the wreckage lay the far-flung driver, an arrow protruding from his broken body, and beside him, a blood-stained effigy carved from stone. I did a very good job of drawing something that doesn't look like anything. But that might actually look like something if you could see it from a different angle, maybe. Yeah, it's a whole ass book. Miller was inconsolable. Jesper had always been her favorite. He had always shadowed her in the night, clinging to the hems of her every move. The way a child trails behind an older sibling. Tender-hearted she had always called him, though deep down she knew that wasn't quite true. His appearance of gentleness concealed a raw, resilient durability that emerged in the most perilous of situations. He had been a flower among the nettles of this cave, and he still had thorns, honed by a grim past and 100 hands of misfortune. They buried him in the darkness. In the back of one of the larger cavern rooms, he was interred with a berry basket and a silk handkerchief that he'd treasured. The mysterious effigy that they'd found beside him served as a distinguished gravestone, a marker that stood out somewhat special among the rows of similar swords marking neighboring plots. No one spoke, not even in whispers. There was nothing to say. Miller awoke the next day to a thunderous shaking and rattling of the earth. A far cry from the playful nudging of the previous day. She strained to adjust her eyes, but the choking sting of stirred up dust caused her to flinch. Panic was also in the air. The sounds of scurried footsteps and clattering feet filled the space behind her. But even in alarm, the silence was louder. What was it that sounded so strange? Miller closed her eyes tight and used her feet to guide her along the passage. The whispers around her were getting louder. Intense voices could be heard ahead, louder speech than she'd ever heard spoken in the canyon. The growing dread grew as Miller approached the mouth of the cave, her eyes now open wide despite the dust. Shouldn't it be day? Miller felt a hand in the darkness pulling at her. It was Ravia. The two embraced, and Miller did not need to see her to understand. Ravia placed two bent fingers against Miller's cheek, and with that touch against her face, Miller felt the same sinking feeling from the previous day. Two bent fingers confirmed what Miller had suspected. The girls had forgotten to relay one critical piece of information to the others. An hour or so later, the screams began, blood-curdling cries of hopeless desperation. Captain Fodrick Lee, of the Blackguard, looked down from the ridge of the canyon to the collapsed entrance of the cave. Ah, he grinned. Now they speak. It's interesting. But I need to... Not one of my books that I needed to look at. Okay, don't need to worry about that. Don't need to worry about that. This isn't one of the books that I needed to read in order to... Like, I was like, how many times... How many words are going to be in here that I need in order to do the deciphering? But it actually isn't one of those ones. I'm trying to think of all the other things that I need to do. I'm thinking I should go down to the breakfast nook. I do have a lot of steps, which is a mercy. Bonk. Nice rerolls. Love to see it. Come on, game? What the hell's going on? Oh, I know what's going on. I've drafted the damn solarium. Damn it, I could have eaten those bananas for free. Not one key. Boo! Boo times 1,000. Boo! Like my cool shirt for good luck. I don't think of which way I want to go. Up has more opportunities than down. Close your eyes if you don't want a secret revealed. Now you're good. And I'm fucked. Oh, well, I do have the trading post. Same here, actually. Generally how I, I'm actually not sure that that's a shorter route. Often it is. Hey, it isn't. Straight line out. One, two. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6. Only got three more locations to find. Okay. Well, at least we got a couple more keys. Oh, that's why I'm fucked. Stupid Draxus. Draxus. Why am I getting so many dead ends? because the game hates me, that's why. But it actually let me know that it was going to hate me today, so I should be less surprised. Oh, is there cat food today? No, the kitty food got ate! Look! The kitty ate the food! Non-existent kitty ate the food. Now I've got keys, bitches! It doesn't matter because I've got so many dead ends to try and escape from, and it's not gonna happen. I've only got one route left. I don't even know where I want to go. I don't even know where I want to go. Ow. How did you manage to do that? Security, please? No? No security? Of course not. Take the showroom. Hey, that's what we're looking for. Nice. I get to update the spare green the green room again. I already have 2 bedrooms. Well, more than 2 bedrooms. Which means that if I draft bedrooms off of this, I will get 2 more letters. Unless I get fucked over. Which wouldn't be the first, last, or any other goddamn version of the time. Hmm. Fuck. And I got rid of my fucking torch. That's what you forget for forgetting that the freezer exists. Well, that's really useful. It's been an awkward day, but at the very least, I've got another letter in the mailroom. I, however, don't have a break room. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna head out to the trading post, and I'm gonna nuke my assets down to the items I want to keep. Like, why didn't it make a clunk? And it didn't make a clunk because it don't need to make a clunk. My assets are frozen. I think I have 41 coins? No, 41 coins or 4 coins? I can't tell. Oh, 4 coins. It's a super big bonus to be dragging in the next day. The 16 gems I can't complain too hard about. I mean, I can, but there's no point. No point about complaining about anything. Look at that mountain. How does it exist? It doesn't make any goddamn sense whatsoever. Look at that. It makes no sense. There we go. Oops. There's a place to dig here. Ah, well. Not bad for a shitty Draxus day. Oh, I didn't actually notice the. I filled up the fountain with water again. I was moving water around. Oh, I kept the moon pendant. I didn't realize that was an option. You can keep the moon pendant? I just always assumed the moon pendant would get consumed and you'd keep the other items. But I'm glad I got to keep the emerald bracelet. Hell yeah. Okay, okay. We want the tomb. Tomb. You didn't give it to me. Oh, random. We got the watering can. Like, I really don't need to do the parlor today. It's been goddamn done. No longer green, but still cracked. That's a bit. That's it. I don't really need the locker room, the sauna, and the pump room. I don't. But I do want to see if I can draft the conservatory. Which of course didn't happen. What do we got? Eggs and bakey? Got lots of footsteps now. I don't know why I bothered to do that, but I did. I did do it. Courtyard's not completely useless, because sometimes it's tough in it. Sometimes you can pee on the floor. That's what we're. I can do what I'm gonna try and do here. I can do this. It's gonna be awesome. Back through the courtyard. Sucks, but what are you gonna do? Who has a sledgehammer? Don't know if the pool is empty. The pool is empty. This is worth it. If the pool is not empty, this is not worth it. I think the pool is not empty. Yay! Hooray. That empty pool, fail pool. A dice. You love to see it. Okay, so now I need to go out and then get into the foundation. Oh shit, I can't. Son of a bitch. Oh wait, it's bypassed. No, wait, it's bypassed. I can't. Oh no. What are you bipping about? I don't see a coin. I forgot I can't get in there. I need the key card. Call the elevator. Still. I'm so used to having the key card all of the goddamn time, and now I can't draft the frickin' break room to save my frickin' life. It's so annoying. I forgot to pick that up. Oh, fuck yes! I have bypassed it, so it's unlocked. I don't even understand, but that's great! Woo! We're not screwed after all! Not me going, well, maybe I'll wait. Yeah, it's approximations. 10 times 14, which is approximately 100, divided by 10 is 10. A third of 1 plus 11 is like 11.3 times 3 is 34, which is roughly 30 minus 20 is 10 minus 6 is 4 minus 2 is 2. For the other key, but at least we've drafted this fucking room. Game was just fucking determined to fuck me over today. Absolutely 100% determined to fuck me over. Car keys. Well, I did draft the garage. Not sure what the point of this would be, but you know. Run into any security doors. So fucking annoying. So many fucking keys, nowhere to use them. What's fun is I don't actually have to go back through the house to get to the garage. I can just go outside to get to the garage. Yeah, yeah, the end. On a weekend. But like this life. Do 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 do. Oh, that's not where I want to be. I need to log off in the frickin' room so that I get my key. You're wasted in the bathroom of parents' house. Probably should go to bed though. I just realized what time it is. It's 2 in the goddamn morning. I should go to bed, but I don't wanna. You're in love with the idea of me. I should have taken the kennel. I was like, no, I don't want the doors to unlock. Why would I want the doors to unlock? I should have taken the kennel. I'm mad at myself. You know, I'll be frustrated if I don't check. I need to check. I need to know. Might be completely worthless, but idea of drafting a shit ton of aquariums around the foundation may have been thwarted. But I did get at least one that I haven't done before, which is the back side of the foundation. So maybe that's the correct way to make the streams go downstairs. Maybe. I just realized that isn't the normal parrot. Is that a bob emote? It fucking is! Let's go. Did we empower it? No. No, we didn't. I'd log out here, except there's no point. I really need to log out somewhere else. Log out in the break room so I have my key. Could have done the kennel. Could have done the kennel. Trick room. Alright. Thank you guys so much for being here. You're super awesome. We love you so much. You all take care of yourselves. We will be back tomorrow afternoon playing, not playing games. We're going to be doing art. We're going to be working on our art. And then maybe playing some games after. Really depends on how we're feeling. Thank you guys so much for being here. You're super awesome. We love you so much. We will, if you're already following, feel free to follow. We hit folks up. We stream every day, twice a day, because we get so we don't. Sorry, I'm trying to read this. Okay. We need to head on off, but yeah, definitely come on back around noon EST tomorrow. We'll see you then. For those of you on Twitch, we're gonna raid out, go watch some fun video games played by other folks, so you can continue the vibing and watching. See what we got here. Raid channel. There we go. Like it wouldn't want. It kept scrolling me past it. See what's going on. We're gonna find someone. Gonna get and help in this thing. Do 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 do. We're just gonna go over to Bob, who's playing some backpack battles. We will see you guys later. You all take care of yourselves. You all have a good night. Bye now.